Good afternoon, Gambia. Good afternoon, our wonderful viewers. Welcome to our first edition of the monthly theme. Today we'll bring you the World Toilets Day, which is 19th November. With me in the studio is Janke Kasama. Janke, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Mamadou. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Janke. As we all know, today is World Toilets Day. It is an official United Nations Day, which is inspired to tackle sanitization, of course, to discuss about the issues that are dealing with sanitization of toilets in our homes, in our communities. And then, as we all know, 4.5 billion people are said to have lived in an unsafe environment. And then 892 million people, according to the United Nations Index, are still practicing open defecation. Janke, these are worrisome figures.
Striking figures.
What is your view or opinions about this World Toilets Day?
It is really a remarkable day, just that I feel we need to talk more about it so people could be aware of it. I'm sure right now if people are even hearing us discuss it, they're like, what, World Toilets Day? There's a thing like that. But yes, there is a day that is set aside to inform, educate, sensitize people on the importance of safe, of clean, of hygienic, use of both home and public sanitization. So these figures are striking, but they're not surprising. I mean, we see some of these on the news. Most countries, probably just developing countries, it's very prudent to see people openly defecate. You would not even believe it in Gambia. There are certain villages, if you go to, they still use the olden methods of open
defecation.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
So it's good for us to talk about it. It's good that we inform, educate, and sensitize people on it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Janke. Today we're talking about a very, very important topic, a topic that not everyone that is acquainted in the Gambia. When you talk about the World Toilets Day, virtually no one can even tell today is World Toilets Day. But these are days that are very important. If you go to the developed world, they celebrate this day. They talk about the essence of this day because it has to do with sanitization. It has to do with people's hygiene, people's health. But in order for nations to develop as well, I believe all these things must be considered. All these things must be put into consideration. Looking at the purpose of which this day is set, is just to have sanity. That is, you have to stay clean, you have to clean your toilets, you have to cover your toilets, you have to wash your hands after using the toilets. These are all precautions that are being talked about during this particular day. We've seen so many illnesses that are affiliated with such, like diarrhea, cholera, syphilis. You talk about them. All these diseases are caused through these attitudes of not maintaining hygiene in the toilet. We've seen the public toilets. For example, if you go to the Gambia Ports Authority, for instance, crossing Bara, if you cross the other side of the ferry, Bara, those toilets, I one time visited those toilets, but they are messy. One cannot use those toilets. You'll see the toilets are filled with this human stool rather. And other public places as well, this bus station, if you're going to Basi, for instance, if you go to this GPTC transport, you will see all those places are messy. And it has to do with people's attitude. What can you share with us regarding how to maintain a hygiene or standard in those places?
Very important, Mamadou. Very, very important. I'm very glad you said people's attitude, because no matter how hard an institution tries to maintain such places, it can never be properly maintained if people are not taking responsibility of how they use it. And I think this is why such days are important, so we could educate people.
Very good.
I believe such education would begin in homes. I believe parents need to inform their kids, even in the home, how do you use the toilet? Pay attention to your kid when they want to use the toilet, how do they use it when they're done? So you would also want to educate students, like in the school curriculum, we should have things like this. I don't know if they still have it, but kids need to be informed as you grow.
That's a good idea.
As you're educated about how to maintain proper hygiene in all aspects, especially when it comes to sanitation. It is paramount. It's very important. And I know in Gambia, it's very rare that you travel and then have to use a public toilet and find it clean.
Exactly.
You speak of these areas. I know of Brikama. I went there about a few months ago.
Yeah.
And then I stopped at the police station and I wanted to use the toilet and they directed me to one of the public toilets.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even believe, I was even told this is an area, even the station, the officers there use these toilets.
Exactly.
But I could not use it. It was, I couldn't even breathe in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I use this, I'm just going to come up with one disease that I don't know where it's coming from. So I best just hold it till I get home.
And that is not unhealthy as well.
Why are people, one, yes, institutions need to put in enough effort to maintain these places. But two, us, the citizens that are using it, why can't we take care of things like this? I always say, if you enter a toilet, don't leave it worse than you find it.
Exactly.
Try to leave it a bit better than you even found it.
Exactly.
Even if in a religion, it's sunnah. When you use a toilet, there are toilet etiquettes in Islam.
Exactly.
How do you use it? When you come in and you find it a certain way, make sure you even leave it the way it is.
Exactly.
Or even make it better than the way you met it. So the next person coming in wouldn't have any issues with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very good. These are very important points, Janke, that you've put across here. And I believe our viewers or anyone listening right now would be able to make best use of these important ethics that we are putting in place.
Yeah.
This is very important, our viewers. Toilets are very paramount to one's health. Looking at the diseases or looking at the sickness that we are having in Africa, most of it is caused by people's attitude. Of course, the government maintain very good standards in public toilets, but the people that are using those to abuse the usage of those toilets. You come and use toilet because there is no water, you live like that, you don't even make any effort to flush the toilet. That is not even in the public. You go to our offices, it happens there. People abuse the materials there, people abuse the resources put in place, people does not take good care of the resources, or people don't want to take responsibility. Yeah. But I said people doesn't want to take responsibility because you go, you find out that you are pressed, of course.
Yeah.
You just go and stand somewhere at the gate. Of course, the toilet is messy. You cannot get inside. You cannot even breathe. You have to hold your nose. Then you just stand outside and then urinate.
Anywhere.
Anywhere and anyhow.
Yes.
You go and leave. Someone also come and do the same thing. The government have already provided those avenues. They've already provided those recreational facilities for us. It's left for us to now to maintain them, to maintain plans to effectively utilize those places for the betterment of all. Now, you've talked about some of the problems that has to do with World Toilets Day or the maintenance or usage of toilets.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the recommended solutions that you can come forward with regards to maintaining hygiene in the toilet?
For me, one most important and sustainable way is to inform and educate people. I think from the childhood setup to your grown, you need to be informed, educated on etiquettes of using the toilet or how sanitation, both home and public sanitation.
Okay.
One is always wash your hands if you use a toilet, even if it's your home and you're very comfortable there, but there has to be a culture of washing your hands when using the toilet or after using the toilet.
Okay.
And also we need to also the government, I would say, should look into building more public toilets.
Okay.
There are very limited public toilets in Gambia.
Okay.
And then come up with ways on how to keep these places clean.
Okay.
Even if it means restricting it or charging people some amount of money.
Yeah.
So that that money could be used to maintain the place, to keep it clean, to keep it safe for anybody using it. And then it's important for us as people, as citizens, to adopt a character where we do as we wish people would do to us.
Okay.
So if we have that habit, whatever we do, we put in mind the next person that will come here would not feel some type of way about using the toilet. So let's try to be more responsible when we use things. It's as little as toilets. Responsibility comes from various levels.
Okay.
You have to be responsible in every aspect as a citizen.
Okay.
But most importantly, you have to be responsible in ways that you're not even expected to be responsible.
Okay.
Meaning, if you use a public toilet, who's going to count, oh, this is what he did, or this is what she did.
Okay.
But you know if anybody is there, if somebody is there or not, you're going to keep this place clean because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Let's not openly defecate. Let's not be peeing on the street just like that.
Okay.
I'm sorry to the gentlemen, but you pass some corners and you see a man, a grown-up man, just pull the car and just go down and just pee in one area, come back into your car and just drive off.
Yeah.
These are people's walls. Somebody will pass through that area.
Yeah.
Whatever thing you are doing there will affect them when it comes to the air in which they
breathe.
Inhale,
yeah.
So let's teach the younger generation better.
Okay.
We have to start with ourselves.
Just to counter that, there are some village people, there are some villagers that have a different opinion. They believe open defecation. They don't have toilets. You go to certain villages, even in the Gambia, they don't have toilets. They go to the bush, deep inside the bush, some kilometers inside the bush, and defecate openly.
Yeah.
And then they believe that is more hygiene than maintaining toilet within the compound. Of course, if you maintain a toilet within the compound, there is prone to be disease, there is prone to be sickness. But these village people get right inside the bush and defecate there. And then these people are still healthy.
Mamadou, I really don't.
Yeah, they still look healthy. They are strong, and they live long.
Really?
Yes.
I think that's why. That could be a lot of reasons could be of that.
Okay.
So one person being living long or being healthy might do. It's not very reliant on how. Where do you defecate? Whether they do it at home or publicly. But all I can say is, it's even stressful to have to travel to deep in the bush just to defecate. What if late at night you feel like, defecating? You have to take a trash bag and go deep in? No, let's promote civilization.
Okay.
Yeah, if somebody is used to a certain culture, they will always have benefits to it.
Yes.
But then we also need to inform them, like I will still go back, educate them on what are some of the importance of having a confined toilet within your compound, and then how can you maintain this toilet to be so clean that you might not be open to diseases, or any health hazards that will, result to you being sick or anything like that. Just let's educate. Educate.
Yeah, that is a very important point there. Education has to do with a lot, sensitizing them, because open defecation at all in all courses.
I'll give you an example, like in institutions, in schools, in universities. They are toilets you wouldn't want to even go into it, and these are our future, our future generation. You go to, I wouldn't want to name schools, but you go to these higher institutions, and their toilets you wouldn't even want to go close. And they have students that are going to occupy managerial positions in the future, ministerial positions in the future, leadership positions. So at that stage where a school is meant to, nurture you to be one complete human being.
Exactly.
But the environment within the school is completely opposite. Then these people would now be the ones occupying an office and still will be in open places.
Exactly.
So let's start by educating people from a very early age.
Thank you very much, Janke. That is all we have for you in this edition of our monthly theme. Until we come your way in our next episodes of the monthly theme, I was your host, Mamadou Fati, and Janke Gassama. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This is Better Future Production. I see you have come to our website. Before you leave, please make sure that you go ahead and watch all our interesting content and press on that subscribe button, okay? Like us. Thank you.